Welcome to the Marion County Fair 2018. This is day 1 of 4, and we're showing you a little bit about the fair that is happening across the 4 days. I'm joined this morning with Commissioner Kevin Cameron and Sam Brentano. We are also kind of starting at one of our epicenters for the fair is our volunteer check-in house. And so this is where all of our volunteers come in to the fair, participate with us by helping us do the job that it takes to put on the fair. Kevin and Sam, do you like to join me in saying anything?
Well, I think you used the word nucleus. This is like, if we didn't have the volunteers, this just would not happen. So we're just really thankful for that. And Lisa, our volunteer coordinator at Marion County, is here too. So does a lot of work to help make that happen. And I want to thank all the volunteers that are checking in the volunteers this morning. So it's great.
I don't have anything to add, Kevin. I got my Marion berry shake. I could be happy.
I noticed that. You know, I'm a little jealous there, Commissioner. Yeah.
So we also have our volunteers, Judy Christensen, who helped to acquire all of the volunteers, organize them, schedule them, as well as Lisa Miller, who, as Kevin mentioned, is our Marion County Volunteer Coordinator. Ladies, how's it going?
So far, so good. I think Judy and I both are extremely happy with the volunteers that are showing up bright and early in the mornings and helping out, and we couldn't do it without them.
Yeah, our volunteers are really what make the fair happen. So they are the energy behind this entire event. So with them, we could not pull off the fair, and so they're very vital to the community. And these ladies here that are at our check-in table, they've been doing this for a few years now, and they've made my life very, very easy today.
And we have with us folks from the Marines as well as the Marion County Sheriff's Office. And tell us about what's going on here.
Currently, I'm talking to these guys who are both Marines, active duty Marines, and they are here on leave. They're both from Camp Pendleton. So I grew up in San Diego, so I was just talking to these guys about Marine Corps, and this guy right here wants to get into nursing, and I was telling him how my brother is a licensed practitioner nurse, and so just kind of talking back and forth. That's what we do, respecting them and honoring them, and plus I was over here getting some water, taking a break, but that's what we're doing.
Great. Yes, thank you for your service. So we have folks from the safety community all along the fair across the 4 days as well, and they're here to not only serve the community each and every day of the year, but will be here to share what they do in the community for our safety and to serve the public. So part of our honor day, we also have with us the Marion County Emergency Management crew. Community preparedness is an extremely important aspect to our community as a whole, and we're joined today with some of our staff that are just going to talk about some of the important things that community members anywhere that they live need to be thinking about in this area.
Thank you very much. Number one, everybody needs to make sure that they have enough food and water to last them for 2 weeks. This last go around with the water situation in Salem proved to that point that having 2 weeks of water is vital to be able to survive. We can help a lot of people, we just can't help everybody when it's needed. So making sure that everybody has a preparedness kit, whether that's something simple like this, what we got over here. We got everything here from Walmart. It's pretty easy to buy. The great thing is you can get the real fancy stuff where you got a brick of food. This is for 1 day for one person, or you can get something a little bit more easy to maneuver around, transport is peanut butter. Peanut butter has a lot of protein and it has a lot of calories in it. So if you can eat peanut butter is a good one, or you can get a brick of food. Or there's ramen. Ramen keeps fairly well as your cans of soup and stuff. So that's what we're preaching right now is making sure everybody has enough food and water to last them for 2 weeks.
And where do they go?
Where do they go? They can go to our website, on the Marion County website, under Emergency Management. We have a lot of information on there.
Variety is what the fair is all about, and you can see just what's behind us that's going on as bingo. Just generations of people that are in this community enjoying what we bring together for 4 days. I don't know. Have you ever played bingo before?
Oh, yeah.
Have you won?
No, I don't think I ever have one, but I like yelling the word
Okay.
or singing the song.
There you go.
Should we sing the song,
Sing
Sam?
the song. Yes.
B-I-N-G-O. Right.
Well, it gets better.
And there's some flowers back here that we got.
Yeah, so we're going to go take a walk through, but you can see from the span that we have both vendors across all different kinds, from people who are selling items to people who are in our community who are promoting efforts that they have an interest in, and people who are entering items in as a competition. So we'll walk over there and show you what each section is about. Okay, we're looking at baseball beanbag, and give us a big shout. Where are you all from? Hidden Lake. It looks like we're Hidden Lakes against Applewood. So tell us what you do here.
You want to tell?
Hi, I'm Josie Wagner, and we're from Hidden Lakes, and we play beanbag baseball, and we love it. And today is a tournament that we have once a month here, and once a year. And so we're here to have fun and enjoy the fair and just meet a lot of new different people and try to win something.
Well, good luck. They toss the beanbag, and they have options of getting it into the different sections, and depending on which hole it goes into will determine how far their team members make it around the bases. So right behind us is the Floral Competition, and I'm going to hand the mic over to Commissioner Brentano to talk to us a little bit about what happens, how people get in, and what are your chances of winning when you enter an item.
Well, that's too many questions, but you can just look around here and see the type of things, and we'd like to get some more, but some just right out of the garden, some kind of real bouquets, and then there's succulents, and I don't know what succulents they are. How could they be in a garden thing? That isn't right. But anyway, oh, Tammy, excuse me, you always display a succulent, don't you? Maybe you should explain that.
Well, succulents are not simple to grow in this area, but when they are in your yard here, you don't have to worry about watering them as much as you do with your cut flowers, such as some of them that are behind us. So as you can see, you have things right out of the yard, things that have been put together for display, and then others use extra items to add a little bit of flavor to their interest.
Did you win?
I did. That's me. Congratulations. So lots of fun here. We also have an opportunity for anyone. Doesn't matter if you have a yard, whether you have a photography in your history, but if we've introduced coloring contests the last couple of years, and it doesn't matter what your age, you can come into the community, pick up one of these prior to fair, submit it as an entry into our open competitions, and you will be judged on in the age group that you represent, and you get a free ticket for coming in. So every entry that you'll see at the fair, they not only get recognized, judged, and then they also receive a free entrance for the fair across any of the days that we're open. Quilters around our county put on display their wares, and you can see behind me the sea of color from the various quilts that have been entered in this year's fair.
Beautiful.
They're absolutely fabulous. Have you ever quilted?
No.
You ever want to quilt?
I've used them.
Yes,
Right?
yeah.
Right, I've used them, but I don't think I have the patience for that. I mean, it's
I
just
know
one of
I
those-
don't.
It's one of those things that is just an art that you have to have a certain talent and personality to be able to do it. I mean, look at the is that Sasquatch there,
Yes.
right?
Right.
It's like, that's so cool.
All right, we're stopping here for the Quilt Guild, and I'm joined here by
Elizabeth Hill.
Can you tell us a little bit about what's happening here and why these two are important?
There's actually 12 of them, and we are the Gone to Pieces Quilt Guild. And back in January, I was watching the news late on a Sunday night, and I saw this little blurb about the U.S. Capitol Christmas tree. And they needed 75 3 to 5 foot tree skirts. So I called Stephanie, who's the ranger in charge of all this, and she goes, well, yes, we need those, and an 8-foot one and a 14-foot one. The only one left is a 14-foot diameter tree skirt. So I went back to the guild, and they said, yes, let's do it. So we are putting together a 14-foot in diameter tree skirt. And each wedge is 2.5 yards long, and it's going to be set in a wagon wheel with brown spokes in between and then brown on the bottom. And this will be our main one. And this is the symbol that they have chosen for the Willamette National Forest Christmas tree. And this tree skirt will be in the U.S. Department of Agriculture's main office under a 20-foot tree.
I'm glad that you got the two-sided state of Oregon flag. You know, a lot of people don't understand that we're the only state that has a flag with two sides to it. Well, I mean, everybody has two sides, but two different things. One, you know, and notice, Commissioner, that the beaver is on top.
Oh, we should be.
There's
Absolutely.
no platypus there.
Absolutely, beaver should always be number one in Oregon.
Yeah.
And we're going to leave it at that. And we're going to move on. Thank you so much. Thank you, ladies, for what you're doing. One of the competitions with the fair is Legos. And you can see from the displays, there's all kinds of Lego displays that have been entered. However, our eye was caught on what was first place winner in this Taj Mahal. And the details in this particular piece is truly amazing. Someone very talented with a vision pulled this together for our fair. There is an instructor who will have conversation with fairgoers as they pass by. However, on Sunday, we're going to have a fairgrounds filled with superheroes and characters and princesses that our young fairgoers truly enjoy. So if you're available, Sunday would be a great day to come by.
Taking a tour of the fair. He wants to say something. He wants to say something. We're taking a tour of the fair.
What's the best place?
What's the best? You know, I just came out of the Columbia building. It's pretty rocking over there.
All right. Which building was it?
The Columbia building over there.
Oh yeah, we were
Yeah.
just there. We were looking at somebody's flowers.
Yeah. This is as far as I've gotten so far. I just got here.
He just got here.
I just got
So
here.
he's working.
This is
He's
as far
working
as
his way.
as far as I made.
So how many kids you got in the school bus today?
I have no kids in the school bus today.
Oh.
I'm just out meeting with kids today.
Maybe we should get a county commissioner in there.
Yeah, come on in. I love
on in,
pictures.
Sam.
Too small.
I love pictures. I really love videos. Yeah. Let me give you my good side here. No,
Oh,
there's
there
my
it
good
is.
side.
Oh, yes.
Stop. And okay, nobody move.
Nobody move.
Nobody
That's
move.
my good side. I can
Wait
look
till-
at this. I
Wait
can
till it
wait.
goes away.
Let me turn my lights on. There we go.
There we go. Still says stop.
All right.
All right.
Well, thanks for being here.
Well, thank you for having me. It's fun. I love talking to kids. I love talking to cowboys. See you later, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Safe route to
Hi,
school.
guys. How's it going? You guys are smart like me.
This is Food Alley, right? And we've got anything from hot dogs and coffee and cold drinks and hot drinks, elephant ears. We have such great vendors here. They give to our community. Some of them are local and they give to our community year round. And they really show their support by hiring great people and giving people summertime jobs. It's always fun. What's your favorite thing to get at the fair?
Marion berry shake, there's no doubt.
Curly fries and a swirl cone. The Dairy Barn.
Both great choices. For the first time this year, we are introducing the Woods, which is an adult-sponsored area for Friday night and Saturday night. We'll have adult beverages as well as cornhole and ring toss. Great place to just hang out with your friends and enjoy some music while you're here at the fair as well. Vendors are available of all kinds throughout the fair. We also have our permitted area where this is fun extra things that take an extra ticket to get in. Many of the things that are at our fair are free with the price of admittance. These are special events that fairgoers just have to buy a ticket and then participate in the fun. So this is Pam Szalinski. She's a longtime fair board member who has done many affairs, not only since I've been here, but well before that, not only as a fairgoer, but as a fair board member. How long have you done fairs?
19 years.
Oh my gosh.
And how old were you on your first fair that you ever went to?
The first fair I ever went to, I was 9 years old.
And where did you meet your husband?
At the fair.
When you were 9?
No, showing beef about when I was 14.
And how long have you been married now?
Yesterday, 53 years.
53 years. Fairs bring people together, right?
Right, right.
Congratulations.
Thanks for what you do, Pam.
Good to see you.
So we're walking by the Dairy Women. This is a historic place for the state fairgrounds, and you can see that it's well loved by those who are enjoying the hot weather as well as the fair. We are entering the barn area for the fair, and as you can see, we are joined by skilled handlers of our pigs that are on exhibit this week. We also have competitions that are going on in the ring right now. We have, behind me, we have our 4-H groups that are doing llamas and alpacas. We also will have pygmy goats here as well. Beef and larger animals, as well as the small critters, rabbits, etc., are in the other barn.
Just like me, get red ribbons this year. I don't know what that means. Is it a bad year or what's happened?
It's not a bad year. Blue ribbons are usually top 3 to like 5 most of the time, and then the rest get reds, and just all depends on how your pig places. But
And which one's, this one's the better one here?
Actually the one to the left is the more weight. It's 267, and this one to the right is 255.
So tell not just me, but Tammy and people are watching, what all it takes to get them to this size, and then what makes them winners or exceptional when you get here.
You kind of have to start feeding them with like more food with more like nutrients and stuff, and to get them around where they're 50. When they're 50, we usually start changing their feed, and we just have to watch their weights. We weigh them probably
Can be too heavy and too light.
Yeah, we weigh them maybe every 2 weeks, and just try to watch their weight and slow them down, like increase their food.
I wish I had somebody doing that to me, but doesn't quite work that way. When do you start with? When do you get the winter pigs and start?
We usually get them around spring break.
Oh, that's very long then. So you spend a lot of time with them then,
Yeah.
up till now. And so after this, then is state fair's out because you don't get blue, or what happens? How's that work?
Like when state.
Yeah, what happens at pig now?
Well, we don't usually go to state fair. We just go to the Marion County Fair, and then one of them we'll sell in the auction, and the other we have an employee party for our employees, and then we have the other one and we
I don't
feed it to
remember
them.
being invited. What's that about?
It's just our business. We have a little dinner with them, and
You're supposed to let family in. You know that, or you will learn. Good night. Now, how old are you?
I am 14 and
St. Paul?
yes.
You play baseball too?
Yes.
Wait, are you a freshman already?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm going to be a freshman.
going to be. 'Cause
Yes.
Yeah. I grew up in St. Paul.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm legitimate. The real deal. Anyway, thank you, Brody, and
Yep.
congratulations.
All right, thank you.
Great. So you can see across here that we have all kinds of kids that are entering here. What are you doing with these water bottles?
We spray them down
Why?
so they don't get too hot.
Is that something that's you got to take care of all the time?
No, not all the time.
Just during the heat?
Yeah.
Wow. How'd your pig do?
I don't have a pig this year. I'll be showing next year.
Great. You having fun though?
Yeah.
Szalinski Road.
We're on Wilson Avenue. So, like the road to
Right near the fire department?
we're like right across from the Szalinskis. Like that road that leads to them. Just
I'm joined here with Tina Brill.
Tara, yep.
Oh, Tara.
Yep.
And so tell us about your goat.
So this is Flutter. She's a full-blood boar goat. So boar goats are kind of different. I just got into goats. This is my first year showing, so it's really exciting. But when I got them, I had to learn that there's percentages, there's purebreds, and there's full-bloods. And so I had to learn what each of those means and what's the requirements for each and every specific of that. So
What is this one? Purebred?
she's a full-blood. So full-blood is 100%. Purebreds are 94 to 99.9, and then percentages are anything under that.
Personality or trait change with that percentage?
So with them, you have like your 50s or 75s, and you can breed them. Let's say I bred a 50% to a full blood, you're gonna get 75s. And so the only way you can really move up is to breed them to higher, but you can never get a percentage or a purebred to a full blood.
All right. But I'm trying to make up if the closer to pure blood or whatever the highest, do they look different, act different,
No,
grow different? No.
No, it's just
Coloration, anything?
coloration mainly. I mean, if you have a 50% and it's bred to like a Nubian or something else, it is going to look different.
Okay.
Yeah, but sometimes the full bloods are more desirable because they're 100%, but sometimes the purebreds are more desirable because sometimes they have better conformation than the full bloods would. So
Pretty square, isn't she? Oh my gosh.
yeah, she's a little small. I've gone to an ABJA show just to kind of get a little show under my belt, and the does there are so much bigger. And so it's the genetics.
And what's her name?
Flutter.
And is this her first show?
No, I bought her from a breeder that had showed her at their fair.
So, well, we wish you the best of luck in your show this morning, and hopefully, Flutter, you'll do well.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You see in the ring representation from the various FFA clubs displaying their goat projects, being judged by our expert judge and looking at different aspects of the build of the animal, the handling of the handler, and much more. We're making our way through the barns, and we are now on the larger animals. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what items that you've brought to share here today.
Okay, my name's Cameron Reish, and today we have miniature Herefords, and our show's on Saturday.
Is this your first year?
It's my 4th year showing.
Which one do you think has the best chance?
I think mine on the end over there, laying down.
What, yours, huh?
My little bull.
Yeah? Why do you think that? What things do they get judged on?
It's just pretty much quality of your structure, looking at the bones instead of what's the meat on them, I guess, just breaking them down.
And what club do you represent?
Duval Farms.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. Commissioners, do you have any questions about the Herefords?
Oh, they all look good. And you got a big display of them here. That's some job.
I know the mini Herefords are always a fun addition, so thanks for being here. So tell us a little bit about this breed and why are they different than a dairy cow or some other kind of...
So unlike the standards, they are, they just call them minis, but they really aren't called minis. They're the classic size from when they were brought over from Herefordshire, England.
So this is the original size of a Hereford when it was...
So you do, I guess it's it's breeding the bigger ones to get standard sizes now today. And then we brought the smaller ones to bring those mini ones on.
Still a pretty good size steer, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Now, how about what's the average weight before they go to market?
I'd say about 1,200 pounds to 1,500 pounds, just
Not
around
small.
It's not small.
Right.
But yeah.
And what's your cattle's name?
Oh, his name is Lane. So, yep.
Yep. Good.
Well, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
What was your name?
Cameron.
Cameron.
Yep.
Kevin Cameron's my last name. Yeah. Right.
The Marion County Fair is social local fun, and this is a great example of people taking that to heart and showing fairgoers as they come into the small animal area what that means to this particular club. And we have here the Kaiser Clovers, and see the little bunnies, the floppy-eared bunnies. And so much more. With the heat this year, our exhibitors are having to do extra duty trying to keep the animals cool and not overheat while they're here. And you can see that they had water bottles in there filled with cool water. When we were in the pig section, we saw that they were spraying water on their exhibitors, and probably a few water fights, I would assume, will break out over these next 4 days. All right, so we are joined here by
Grace Johnson.
And who are you holding?
This is my bunny Filbert.
Filbert, how old is Filbert and what kind of a rabbit?
He's a little over 2 years old, and he's a Holland Lop.
And when do you show?
I'm showing rabbits tomorrow.
And tell me a little bit about what goes into raising and showing a rabbit at the fair.
It's a lot of work. You got to make sure, since he's kind of has some white on him, you got to make sure he's always clean, he always has food and water, and he doesn't get any diseases that go around the fair sometimes. And you got to work with them a lot, because I got him when he was a baby, so he was kind of crazy. Still has a lot of energy, but yeah, it takes a lot of work.
And what do you do to keep his coat nice and clean?
I like to give him baths a couple times a year. Stop it, buddy. I'm gonna put him back so he's kind of crazy. But yeah, I give him baths about twice a year. I just did one last week, got him nice and beautiful, and yeah, just a lot of work.
How are you keeping him cool in this hot weather?
So I like to take towels and wet them, and when the wind blows through, it's kind of like an air conditioning for him, and then I get ice water bottles and just put them in there, and he lays up against them.
Well, we wish you the best of luck tomorrow in your competitions, and hope all your hard work pays off with a ribbon.
Thank you very much.
Joined here by Austin Olson. And what club are you with, Austin?
I'm with the Green Grazers.
And you do what for an exhibit?
I have a market steer that I've been working on. This is my 4th year doing 4-H, and we raise them homegrown. We have Herefords over here, which are the red with the white face, and then usually you'll have Baldies, which are black with white face, which is a mix between a Hereford and an Angus. And those are the two primary animals that people show here.
So for those that aren't country folk, what does the difference mean between a Hereford and an Angus?
They're just different breeds. Some are made better for meat, some have more marbling with more fat in it. It just depends on what you like.
What's your favorite?
I like Herefords. They're nice and docile.
Yeah, that's what Commissioner just whispered in my ear, said that they're mean.
Which one would I get the best ribeye from?
Well, I'm going to be pretty biased, so I'm going to say my own. So Herefords.
Herefords, all right.
So after you get, you're showing, when are you showing?
I show tonight at 6 and tomorrow at 10 a.m.
And then your hope is to go to market?
All animals go to market unless they get the dreaded white ribbon, which that doesn't happen too often.
And so how do people buy from the auction?
They have the 4-H Livestock Auction, which is at the end of the week, and all the animals get placed from Grand Champion all the way to last, and they go through, and anyone can go bid on them if they sign up.
And they just come to the fair and sign up?
Yep.
And again, you want to say your name so in case they want to come and bid on yours?
Yeah. My name is Oscar Olson, and I'm with the St. Paul Green Grazers.
Thanks, Austin. part of the being a part of a club here at the fair is really networking and hanging out with your friends as well as showing an animal. So I've come across these young folks who are enjoying each other. What are you doing?
We're playing BS.
And how often do you get to do this with your friends?
Whole day.
The whole day. When do you show?
I showed at noon, I think. Yeah.
What do you show?
Steers, cows.
Are you showing as well? What are you showing?
A heifer and a steer. It's my first year to be showing, so.
Well, congratulations on getting in and being here. So is hanging out with your friends an important part of the fair?
Yeah, definitely. That's the best part. Other than, like, being with the animals is fun too, but the community is awesome. Just choked on it.
Great. Well, we wish you all the best of luck and enjoy the card game. Hopefully somebody will come out a winner there too.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm joined now with a Supreme Champion that just won in the ring. Can you introduce yourself and your cattle?
I'm Abby, and this is just exquisite. And yeah, that's all.
Well, it seems like she is exquisite. Tell us a little bit about your ribbon and what that means.
So this is the Supreme overall. So for each class, the winner of each class goes back in, and then the winner of that is the Supreme. So that's what she did.
What does this mean for you with State Fair? Anything?
It means if we go to State Fair, hopefully she'll do good there too.
But it gets you a spot?
Probably, yes, I think so.
Great. Well, how much work has she been? How often do you have to work with her?
We work with her every day, and we've been doing that ever since she was little, like born, basically. Yeah, she was here last year too, and she won last year as a calf when she was little.
Well, she's quite large, but obviously quite exquisite.
Yes. Thank you.
We started our fair talking about the importance of our volunteers to help put on the fair. Another important aspect is all of our wonderful sponsors. They're the ones who help us contribute to the resources that we have available that have been granted to us by the county, and without their support we wouldn't be able to bring all of this together for the fair. Here you can just see we're in front of our VIP, which is our evening venue for our entertainment, and behind us is the main stage. We'll have this year we have various acts that are on the stage throughout the 4 days. Then on Friday we have Journey music sung by Steve Ajari, and then also on Saturday when we have the rodeo, which we didn't see, but it happens every year on Saturday evening. We didn't do horses. There's so much more that people can come and see that we didn't get to cover, but there's lots going on. And then Saturday night we have Easton Corbin, who will be bringing country music to our main stage. And Commissioner, can you two of you just kind of wrap it up for us?
Well, thanks, Tamara, for the tour and all you do with the volunteers and our staff. But I just, this is a special year because it's the 175th anniversary of Marion County, and I love to brag about that. At one point in time, we were a county that stretched all the way from here to into Canada and over to the Rocky Mountains, and we're so generous we gave up a lot of territory, and the state fairgrounds we actually owned at one point in time and sold it to the state for $1. I don't think you and I were commissioners in those days, but yeah, it was a long time ago. But great event. The weather is hot. We just need to make sure that you stay cool and drink lots of water while you're out here on these hot days. But thank you for allowing us to be out here on the tour today. And Commissioner, you want to wrap us up?
No, that did it pretty well. It's just getting going here, and the weather may be hot, but it's really nice, and I think people are going to have a good time, and there is plenty to see. So come on out.
Yeah, and don't forget the auction at the end of the fair where you can support the Future Farmers of America and the 4-H kids and get some really good animals too for your future.
Thank you both. Hope to see all of you out at the county fair.